Was a lazy, crazy, hazy Sydney afternoon. Having a few quiet ones, just trying to detune. Kicking back on the right track, matter of fact. Hiding out in a plastic fern and plastic staghorn, plastic jungle garden bar. Drinking Bundy chasers, dark and stormies. Everything was going right so far. And on the giant TV screen, a dull voice was telling me I should bet with mates 365 days a year. Ladbrokes, no joke. Didn't think too much about it, but thought I need another cold homebrew beer. So I tried a crafty, an IPA, set me on my way. From the finger wharf of my mind to Circular Quay, I met a stranger who was from Woolloomooloo, and the stranger said that the stranger made homebrew. Invited me back to a terraced house to try a few. Had 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 bottles, hell. Well, I thought might as well go full throttle. And somewhere in the pantry of my mind, somewhere in there I started to unwind. Between the Lee and Perrins Worcester's sauce and an old can of 3-bean mix, that homebrew started to play tricks. Felt like my tongue was made from an old leather shoe, and my head was full of animals like its own Taronga Zoo. Yeah, and it was feeding time, and all the animals were out of line.
Out of time, out of sync.
But what the heck, I'll take another drink. And a noble thought came to me, I better take some action. As I looked across old Port Jackson, across a tormented Sydney harbor, I was tired, terrified, and trimmed by some kind of a phantom barber. Cutting to the chase in a one-horse race, and the horse was made of wood, wasn't up to no good. And just my luck, this horse was no entry for the Caulfield or the Melbourne Cup. And the hungry animals are all gonna end up in the pet cemetery, because the Taronga Zoo in my mind had rejected me. Perhaps too wild, a little bit too woolly, had them homebrews and even more fully wandered back to the pantry of my mind. Second shelf bottled water goes well with whiskey, I thought there. But what I needed was that cold homebrew, and chase away them Sydney town blues. Drinking alone, lost my mobile phone, all my contacts, all my social media, everyone I had ever texted, all that SMS that I had yet to be perfected, all my credit cards, all that I am, and everything unknown. So I climbed into an Uber, but it was an Uber of my mind. Hadn't really been anywhere, but woke up at the scene of the crime, taking me back home to where I know I will find good old homebrew in a return trip from Woolloomooloo, an empty Taronga Zoo, a hammock, a warm, stringy spaghetti bed, lawns to mow, an old garden shed, full of tools I don't need from super cheap Bunnings and Aldi and Struth. This is only Sunday. What am I gonna do come Monday? Back to work. Hell, who'd I lend my wheelbarrow? Wishing I was fishing, but it's still only Sunday. Better get my barrow Monday.
Barrow Monday.
I remember the front tire was flat out like a goner with nothing much to do. Strange what happens in your garden in the heat when you drink too much homebrew.